First up, we've got former President Barack Obama weighing in on a major controversy. He's speaking out about Jimmy Kimmel's recent suspension and issuing a stark warning about the growing dangers of cancel culture. What did Obama have to say about the tightrope walk between accountability and censorship? Then, we dive into the complex world of cancel culture itself, but this time from the perspective of acclaimed filmmaker Anurag Kashyap. He reveals how a simple social media post defending Sandeep Reddy Vanga ignited a firestorm, leading to intense conversations with friends like Varun Grover, and why he feels this trend is becoming genuinely problematic. But the narrative on cancel culture takes a shocking turn as we explore how the political right is now fully embracing it. Once fierce critics, conservatives are now calling for careers to end over online comments, mirroring tactics they once decried. We'll break down this incredible flip-flop and who's leading the charge. And finally, we connect the dots with the Jimmy Kimmel suspension itself, framed as a significant step down an authoritarian path. We'll examine how this action, along with other media pressures, signals a growing threat to free and independent journalism. Don't go anywhere. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Barack Obama is sounding the alarm on a cultural shift that's hitting Hollywood and beyond. The former president has publicly addressed the recent suspension of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, and in doing so, he's offered a critical perspective on the escalating cancel culture. Obama's comments highlight a growing concern that the fervor to hold individuals accountable is veering into dangerous territory, potentially stifling open discourse and creating an environment where nuanced discussion is lost. This situation stems from remarks made by Kimmel, which led to his suspension and sparked widespread debate. Obama, known for his thoughtful approach to societal issues, is lending his voice to this conversation, suggesting that while accountability is crucial, the methods employed can have significant negative consequences for public dialogue. His intervention signals that the implications of cancel culture are now being scrutinized at the highest levels. Public reaction has been swift, with many eager to hear Obama's take on this increasingly prevalent phenomenon. Analysts are dissecting his words for clues about the future of free speech and accountability in the digital age. This discussion is far from over, and Obama's statement is sure to fuel further debate. This is just the beginning of our deep dive into the culture wars. Stick around, because next we're hearing directly from a filmmaker caught in the crossfire of online outrage. A photograph of filmmaker Anurag Kashyap with director Sandeep Reddy Vanga, accompanied by a laudatory note from Kashyap, ignited a significant online debate, with collaborators like Varun Grover responding with stark disapproval. Kashyap's post, which praised Vanga's film Animal, also defended Vanga against media criticism, but the reactions from friends like Neeraj Gawin, Cringe, and Varun Grover, No, created a digital firestorm, prompting extensive discussion about separating artistic admiration from personal choices. Kashyap has now opened up about the intense backlash, revealing that he immediately contacted Grover to discuss the matter privately. He emphasized the importance of trust and personal boundaries, stating that while he could share his conversation with Vanga with Grover, the details of that private discussion were not for public consumption. This exchange highlights Kashyap's struggle with what he perceives as an overreaching cancel culture, where disagreements can escalate into personal attacks and attempts at erasure. Interestingly, Varun Grover had previously shared his perspective, detailing Kashyap's proactive approach in seeking understanding. Grover recalled Kashyap's open-mindedness, noting that within half an hour of the online reaction, Kashyap called to understand Grover's viewpoint. They had a conversation where Kashyap ultimately agreed with Grover's concerns, reinforcing the idea that genuine dialogue can bridge online divides. Both directors are now moving forward, with Kashyap preparing his thriller, Nishanchi and Vanga working on Spirit. But the conversation around cancel culture doesn't end there. We're about to uncover a surprising new player that's entered the arena, and they're adopting tactics many thought they'd oppose. In a striking reversal, conservatives, who once vehemently opposed cancel culture, are now actively embracing it following the death of Charlie Kirk. This phenomenon, previously decried as toxic and an affront to free discourse, is now being wielded by those on the right to call for people to lose their jobs and livelihoods over their online statements. The irony is stark. Those who championed First Amendment principles are now acting as speech police, albeit with a different political agenda. This conservative embrace of cancel culture is manifesting in alarming ways, often through official channels. Vice President J.D. Vance urged his audience to call out and report individuals celebrating Kirk's death to their employers. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is reportedly directing staff to identify soldiers engaging in wrongspeak, and Representative Nancy Mace has stated, "We don't fund hate, we fire it." Even Attorney General Pam Bondi has warned that government printers could be prosecuted if they refuse to print vigil posters, drawing parallels to past progressive demands for services. The author argues that this shift represents a broader abandonment of core conservative principles by Trump-era Republicans, including limited government and free speech. This co-option of cancel culture, driven by political expediency rather than principle, is seen as a dangerous trend. As the article notes, the impulse is to drop a dime and report perceived transgressions, suggesting that Big Brother is watching in a new, politically charged form. This fascinating political twist sets the stage for our final story. We'll look at how one specific incident, the suspension of a major late-night host, is being viewed as a critical moment in this unfolding battle for free expression. The recent suspension of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel is being framed as a deeply concerning development, marking a significant step down an authoritarian road, and posing a dire threat to free and independent media. The action, reportedly influenced by a Trump appointee at the Federal Communications Commission and pressure from media conglomerates, highlights a broader pattern of silencing critical voices and commentary. Kimmel was suspended indefinitely by ABC after he made remarks on his show questioning the motives behind the killing of Charlie Kirk, a stance that drew criticism from conservative circles. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr suggested potential punishment for ABC, leading Nexstar, a major owner of local TV stations, to announce it would not air Kimmel's program. This pressure, combined with potential boycotts and attacks from the Trump administration, appears to have forced ABC's hand, resulting in Kimmel's temporary removal from the airwaves. This incident is not isolated. The article points to a series of actions by the Trump administration and its allies that target media organizations, including substantial lawsuits against the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, settlements with Trump by Disney, and pressure on CBS News executives. These efforts, alongside Republican efforts to defund public media and Elon Musk's lawsuit against Media Matters, suggest a coordinated campaign to intimidate and suppress negative coverage. The author warns that this pattern of regulatory pressure and legal action, even without outright censorship, can wear down organizations and lead to self-censorship, ultimately undermining democratic principles that rely on a free press. We've covered a lot of ground today, from presidential warnings to political turnarounds. But before we wrap up, we'll give you a quick recap of all the top stories. That's all the drama for today, DramaCast Nation. We heard from Barack Obama on the dangers of cancel culture, explored Anurag Kashyap's battle with online backlash, saw how conservatives are now embracing cancel culture, and analyzed Jimmy Kimmel's suspension as a blow to free speech. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to DramaCast for all your breaking news and entertainment updates, hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected.